Welcome to the Ministry Pivot Podcast with Russell St. Bernard, a podcast designed to assist leaders as they seize the season of opportunity by pivoting toward it. Let's get started with today's episode.
Hey, family, Reverend Russ, back again with a short pivot. Super excited that you all decided to come back. I'm finishing up a pivot that we did a couple weeks back where we talked about 5 things that executive leaders can do to support their senior leader, and actually dealt with 2 of them in the first episode. So don't forget to go back, and we encourage that we would try it first, and we encourage that we would leave a margin. Today, want to walk through the last 3 of them. The first one is to explore and expose. I think one of the things that I'm finding in my leadership travel and my leadership growth is that I am way more valuable when I bring something to my senior leader that my senior leader and even those on the leadership team have not been exposed to or didn't know was happening. And now hear me clearly, I'm not trying to shift roles. I'm not trying to change my role. What I am saying is that I'm bringing value in my role. And so maybe it's a book, maybe it's a movie, maybe it's an insight, maybe it's an experience in the industry or outside of the industry. So obviously I serve at the church. Shout out again, my senior pastor, Pastor Matthew Watley, and Kingdom Fellowship. And so maybe I'm sharing about another church and what they're doing, or I'm sharing about another nonprofit and what they're doing that may be helpful if we tweak it, if we made some pivots, pun intended, to it. But I'm also sometimes sharing just things that I'm learning outside. And I think that's one of the keys as well to bringing value and helping your senior leader, is that you bring value outside of the industry. You bring value outside of what you are. Because sometimes we can be so laser focused that we don't zoom out. I said this last time, but I'll say it again, that we have to work on making sure that we zoom out. That's actually the next point that I'll bring. But let me finish up with exploring and exposing that we have to look around, and we have to look outside, and we have to be willing to say, maybe that will work in this way, maybe that will work in another way, maybe that will work in this concept, maybe that will work in this context, so that it will be helpful for what we're doing. So again, looking at ways that you can explore and then expose. And then number 4, the fourth way that I think executive leaders can help their senior leader is to be able to zoom out. I just said it a minute ago, be able to zoom out, but zoom out not just in what you do, but zoom out of what you do. Sometimes I come to my senior pastor, sometimes I'll come to my executive team and our executive team rather, and we'll talk. And I have to make sure that I zoom out of just what Reverend Russ's role is to see things how they may see things. And then when it comes to my senior pastor, I have to make sure that I zoom out and remember that there's stuff that he's dealing with, that my senior pastor's a male, but if your senior pastor's a female, that she's dealing with that no one else has to deal with. There's responsibility that they have that no one else has to have. And so when you come in to a meeting, or you come into an opportunity to have conversation, and you have that in your mind, it is really important for you to be able to zoom out and know that there is more that comes to this moment than just this moment. And then the question is, as an executive leader, then how do you help? How do you encourage? How do you push? How do you inspire so that everyone can zoom out, see the full picture of things, to be able to know how to get there in a better way? I know we're in a technology age now. I know we all have our smartphones, and so we know how to get different places. Even when we're in an Uber or in the Lyft, we're able to see where we are and where we're going. But a long time ago, we used to use this thing called MapQuest. And MapQuest, you had to get the whole map. You would write your directions where you wanted to go. You would print it out. Many of us know what I'm talking about. You would print those directions out, and then you would have those directions where you were going, and you would have to follow it. But every now and again, you would have to make it up as you went, and that would cause you to zoom out. That would cause you not to focus on just your route, but to focus on the other ways that you may be able to get to the same destination. I'm saying that as a executive leader, it's going to be helpful if you are able to zoom out, if you're able to see things in their lens, if you're able to see things from their vantage point, if you're able to understand that everything that happens doesn't just happen based on you, but it happens based on all that has to get done and all that has to take place. And it's more than just your lane, but you need to see the other lane. So don't forget that. And the first thing was that you have to be willing to try it first, bring some opportunity first. The second thing is that you have to be willing to make some margin. The third thing is you have to be willing to explore and expose. The fourth thing is you have to be willing to zoom out. And then the last thing is you have to understand expansion looks differently. Expansion looks different, rather. You have to be willing to expand in a different way. I tell leaders all the time, staff all the time. We were hiring staff here at Kingdom, and I always share and talk with them as we're hiring, and even as people are coming on board, as new people are moving around, and we're saying, look, understand that in our organization, expansion, your growth doesn't just happen from bottom to top. Actually, your growth happens in a wide way. Your growth happens in an expansive way. And what I mean by that is, if growth happened from the bottom to the top, that means that your senior leader will have to move up as well. And in some organizations, your senior leader is the senior leader. There's no higher role for them to get to. So if you have to move up, that means you're trying to move them out. And that's not really sustainable. That's not really going to happen. But in many organizations, you can grow and you can expand if you get wide. You can expand if you enlarge. You can expand if you widen the stakes that you've already been given. If you expand your territory. I think about it when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to the parable of the talents, that there was only the one who hid the talent, and the one that hid the talent, that talent then got taken away. But those that grew the talent, those that expanded the talent, those that made it wider was actually able to be celebrated. And what I want to say is that as an executive leader, if you're able to expand your area, if you're able to move your area from needing 3 people to needing 6 people to needing 9 people to needing 20 people to cover the area that you're in, because now you are bringing in that amount of people, you're bringing in that amount of resources, you're bringing in that amount of opportunity, then all that's going to do is allow your senior leader to know that you can be trusted, that you can be fruitful, and that you can help the whole organization move forward. Understand that expansion can happen, but expansion should happen by you making your area wide, by you bringing in more leaders, by you bringing in more opportunity, by you bringing in more growth in that one area that then allows for the whole organization to grow. And now if the whole executive team does that, imagine how much growth, imagine how much potential, imagine, again, because it's not just about numbers, imagine how much impact you will have. Of course, we're talking in church world, so we're talking about for the kingdom. But even if you're in the business world, imagine how much impact you will have on a community. Imagine how much impact you will have on this world if you're able to expand what you do. Again, thank you all for getting on to Ministry Pivot for this short pivot. I really do pray it's been helpful. I really do pray it's been inspirational for you as you move forward, understanding that this is your season of opportunity. All you have to do is pivot to Reverend Russ. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. God bless.
That's it for today's episode of the Ministry Pivot. We hope you enjoyed listening and gaining some valuable insight. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss out on our future episodes. And if today's show has resonated with you, please leave us a review to help others discover our podcast. For more resources and updates, visit our website at ministrypivot.com. And be sure to join our email list as well as follow us on Instagram at Ministry Pivot. Thanks for joining us today, and we're excited to have you back next time for another insightful episode of Ministry Pivot. Stay connected, keep pivoting. We'll see you soon.